Hi guys, welcome to today's video. And today's video we're in the garage and we've come to look at the bikes. There's the MT10 and Carol's Triumph Street Triple in the bubble, but they're coming out today because Carol's bike needs an MOT and also needs its big service. And it's going to the Triumph dealership, so I'm going to take it in the van. I know it's sacrilege really, but the roads are awful. I think they've been in here 9, probably nearly 10 weeks. Not ridden them since we got back from our Scotland trip, late October. The main important thing for me is keeping them dry. Normally we would be riding during the winter, and my only concern is these bikes aren't on paddock stands in this dome, they're on the side stand. And the only slight risk you've got is putting a flat spot on your tyres, leaving them stationary in one place for so long. So I wanted to move them anyway. Want to have a look at that. The main thing, dig the bike out, get it in the back of the van, and I'll show you my little contraption to help keep the bike secure. All looks good so far. The main thing for me is there's no condensation on the bikes, and bear in mind this garage is an outside garage. It's not heated. I've got my little fan heater on now, but normally it's not heated, and they're sat out here in an unheated garage all winter, and there's no damp on them, so the dome has done its job. So I'm going to get them outside. I'm going to run them up. Now, do you run motorbikes up in the winter without riding them, without getting them fully hot? There's a lot of people that say you shouldn't do that because it causes condensation in the crankcase. What's your thoughts? And guys, especially the ones that store bikes over winter, and I'm particularly thinking about one guy here, one of my subscribers called Paul. Do you get your bikes off the ground during storage before you put them away and cover them up? I think probably I'd want to, but I'd need a lot of paddock stands. I mean, I've got 3 bikes if you're going to do the front and the back. So what do you do? Or do you just move them around, or do you put them on a bit of carpet? Let me know what you think, guys. I haven't put fuel stabilisers in the tank, but what I do is ensure that just before we put them away we fill the tank right to the top so we don't get condensation inside. So they've both got full tanks at the moment. Right, shall we take it outside, see if it starts? Fingers crossed. First press. I love that bike. Right, let's see if Carol's bike can start. First press, just like the MT10. Right, well, I'm going to let both bikes run up to temperature, and then I'll show you my little contraption, which you can probably just see leaning up against the wall over there. Well guys, that was a few years ago, 9 to be precise. That was my old multi-strider in the Alps. But anyway, we're not talking about that. Showing you my little contraption here, and all they are really is 2 over-centre chocks bolted to a piece of plyboard, but that piece of plyboard is cut to the exact shape of the front of the inside of my van. So what I'm going to do, lift that in. There, look, I've bolted a tie down ring so I can tie down to both sides of the handlebars of both bikes, but we're only putting one in there for today, but easy to get 2 bikes in there. And if you imagine, it goes that way up. beauty of this system is once you run it in, the thing stands up on its own. Don't need to have the side stand down. But we will put some straps on. Right, well, I'm taking this bike to Triumph, Staffordshire East I think it's called, Sutton's Motorcycles, and it's due its main service, which is the valve service. The quote is £540. Do you think that's fair and reasonable? Sounds a lot of money, but there's quite a bit of work to do, and I don't know how that compared with what everybody else is paying. I guess it's the price you pay for keeping a bike quite a long time. We want to look after our bikes, and I couldn't do the valve service. And on top of the valve service, it's got to have an MOT, and if it needs shims, the shims will be extra. I don't know how many shims it'll need. You would have thought they'll take shims out of bikes, which they could reuse on other bikes, wouldn't you, rather than charge you. But we'll see. We'll see how fair they are with me. Anyway, get it strapped down. Right, what are the famous last words? But that's going nowhere. Give you a quick view of what we've done. We've got a ratchet strap onto the bottom yoke, both sides. One down to the ring on the board, and the other one down to the ring actually in the van, one of those. And we took a strap across both sides, one on the other side, and really that bike is solid now, won't go anywhere. We've used this system quite a lot of times. In fact, we took both bikes over to the Isle of Man TT about 4 years ago, in the van just like this, piled the van full up of camping luggage for ourselves and for our friends, and it worked out as cheap on the ferry to take the van than it did to take the bikes. And we've got all the gear, creature comforts, cooking and everything that we needed for the campsite. So I'm not saying we use it all the time, but we've used it once to get all the way over to Bourg St Maurice, and I drove this van, and this is a Transit Custom short wheelbase high roof. I've drove it all the way from England to Bourg St Maurice in one hit. So saves a lot of time going through France. And if you're short of time like I am with my business, sometimes it's a thing to do. If you want to get somewhere to some really nice riding areas, why not use a van? The plus point as well, my van will do as much to the gallon as Triumph's, as Carol's Triumph will, so if not more. So save a hell of a lot of cash going across long distances. Well guys, sorry I can't bring you anything more exciting, but lockdown still reigns around here. Hope everyone's keeping safe, and hopefully bring you something more exciting soon. Cheers for now. Bye bye.